Oh, there you go.
Definitely.
It's already an incremental improvement from last week.
Excellent. All right. So yeah, let me just jump on three then. I think right now we have a set of guidelines that are feeling much more consistent. But I think if we throw these guidelines to people, might be essentially throwing them over the wall to them. I'm just wondering if we should have a quick intro to the guidelines on the landing page, saying that yeah, perhaps highlighting the ones that are most important, or the ones that mean much more of a change, or perhaps highlighting from the goals that we wanted to achieve from this project, highlighting how we can do this. So, for instance, to provide exit level overview, make sure that you create an epic, that you set the dates on the epics, and that you set the weight on the issues. And then perhaps if you want to focus on consistency, then we can mention that. Make sure that you organize these sprints following this or these iterations following these guidelines. Make sure that all of your issues are assigned to a particular sprint, and so on. Essentially, let's say a quick level overview on how to start working with the guidelines, so that it's less of a so that they're easier to digest, essentially, and people can see the bigger picture rather than going straight into each individual guidelines.
Yeah, I support that.
Yeah.
I'm like, when it comes to enablement like this, I'm like perfectionist, but right now I'm like, you need to just go with the MVC. Let's give it over to them. But I think the intro would be really helpful to them. And we'll see. Like everyone will adopt it, I think, slowly. But the intent is that the intent first is for the captains to take a look and give some feedback. Or are we just saying everyone start using it? Like, should we change?
I would say feedback, perhaps. I mean, because it might be difficult, as you say, it might be difficult for them for all of the teams to adopt straight away. And then we might identify things that are more important to them before they have to implement it and do some changes further down the road.
All right, then let's carry on with that same structure, just a little bit different timeline.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I can take an action on that one. This is something I might be able to work on tomorrow, but I wouldn't make this high-level overview a blocker. Essentially, I feel that is something that we need, but I wouldn't want to delay any other activities.
Sorry, I was late. I took a break. I haven't had a break since started meetings this morning. But what did we decide on the milestones? Did you already cover that? Like 2 weeks versus 1 week?
No, yeah, we skipped it so that you can join the conversation as well. But I'm advocating for going to 2 week, simply because I mean there's three teams who have adopted this. Oh, not three teams. Sorry, there's 5 teams now. So MPM, strategic marketing, and marketing are on 2 weeks, and then it was growth and corporate marketing who are in 1 week. And I'm thinking that it might be easier to go from 1 week to 2 weeks rather than the other way around. To me, at the end of the day, let's pick something. I mean, I'm in for consistency, and that's what I've added the comment on the MR as well, along those lines. But yeah, I'm happy to subject it to a vote as you were proposing, Jackie, as well.
And last week, Gabe suggested that we use 2 week milestones, but then use iterations for smaller chunks of time and do 1 week iterations if the team wanted to be on 1 week sprints, which kind of makes sense, and kind of like we got into a discussion about what the reporting would look like, because that's kind of a hack as well. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think it's most important that we all just start doing something, but
Yeah, and
yeah.
I mentioned MPM. Like my team isn't using 2 weeks, but I put it in there because I have some people doing it. I think the key distinction is if you're doing a bigger project and you're managing it yourself, 2 weeks does seem better suited for that. When you're doing like quick turnarounds, like the team members of mine that were not in the milestone piece, they're the ones doing the quick turnaround, and then the one doing the big projects, we're using the milestones. So it's like, I think it depends on your case. So I understand wanting the iterations inside of a milestone just as something they could use. I guess we'll see what that looks like. Because that kind of flips everything that growth has been doing on their head. But Danielle also mentioned if it's up to consistency, then she'd rather build to the consistency and retrain the team. So I think we just need to make a decision. So let's do
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, let's do that then. Yeah, in that case, let's go with that. I'll merge the MR, but one thing that I've mentioned as well to Dara is she was advocating for using user stories for scheduling on iterations, and I prefer to keep that outside of the iterations discussion because not everyone will be using Agile, and then I think Agile, I mean, implementing Agile was outside the scope of this project. I think it's fine to recommend how to use user stories, perhaps on the issues guidelines, but everything should be able to use issues as task or user stories, I think.
User stories are great for a team that's service oriented. I really don't think
indeed.
Every team. So, and I don't think we throw away that idea with 1 week sprints, but like for teams that it works for, keep it in all of the issue templates.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Did update the whole iterations versus milestones piece? Like looking at the code right now.
Sorry, which update?
Under, well, for her MR,
Yeah.
Dark MR, under guidelines, like we still say define milestone at lowest level needed, but that seems in contrast. Is there a different MR to be looking at? And that the naming convention is still showing like 2-letter abbreviation followed by underscore, but aren't we moving to the overall?
Yeah, good point.
Milestones at a higher level, or am I getting iterations of milestones?
Yeah, I think we might want to remove that that initial content that we had, so that it's. Oh yeah, nice.
Right. This.
Yeah.
This, am I wrong? Am I misunderstanding? Like this would be
Yeah.
accurate now, right?
This is a leftover from the initial guidelines that we have. We can perhaps remove this now on a separate MR.
Separate MR. Okay.
Yeah. Let me just add a note. Sorry. Okay, so for this MR, I'll reach out to Dara to comment on my suggestion not to mention using user stories. And then once she's done that, then I'll go ahead and merge with the advocating for 2-week sprints. all that I had myself. Is there anything else you wanted to discuss today?
As a next step, I'm commenting into the captains. There's still some teams that haven't had a volunteer, so I'll follow up to make sure that we have someone represented from all the teams. Cormac, will you be the product marketing? Should you be for all of strategic, or what do you think? Does technical marketing, does customer insight, candidate intelligence need to be represented for themselves?
I feel like we should probably have at least one other person from SM who's not in PMM, whether that's TMM or AR, maybe AR, because they're probably the most different from us.
Okay,
And they have the most contact with external folks as well.
yeah, and we've been working through a lot of processes lately, me and Joyce and Brian. So I'll tag both of them. So nobody from Dan's team should I tag him just to see if he wants to?
Yeah, tag him, but they, especially with tie out, they're stretched pretty thin and they work pretty close with PMM, whereas ARR is on a completely different, they use different tools. Matter of fact, most of what AR spends their time in is email because they're dealing with analysts who live in it. But so that would be an interesting perspective.
All right. Okay, Jack, is there anything that we can do, at least the ones on this call, to help with team captains?
It looks like I only have. So I'm assuming that Becky will probably step up for Brand Digital since she's been so involved in the process.
Yeah, I would guess so. Perhaps, or if not, then Shane. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll
an extra option.
Start on there and see if he wants to have somebody represent them. But it might be that Becky, since she's kind of project managing for them and with them, she might be able to speak to what she thinks will be challenges. But I'll ask Shane Bouchard to represent someone.
Cool. Hi, Gabe.
Hi,
Gabe.
just thought I'd hop in for a couple minutes.
Thanks for joining. Another that you're here, I didn't check this, so perhaps it hasn't happened. Have you had the chance to talk to the development teams about enabling the feature flag for the marketing group for iterations?
Yeah, it's broken right now, so there's no point.
Okay. Okay. No
as soon as I can verify that it works in minimal fashion, I'll make sure that happens.
Okay, cool. There's no particular urgency right now as we've decided to go with milestones in the meantime. But yeah, just let us know if there's anything that we can do on our side as well.
Yeah, I will.
Cool. But other than that, I think we're pretty much done with the call today. Or is there any other topic we'd want to discuss?
Can we get confidential epics enabled for marketing?
Yeah, so for that and other things too, just as a future thing, if you go into the S_plan channel and just say, hey, can you please enable the feature flag for this thing? Some engineer will pick it up and like do that for you, because I can't do it, and that's all that I do is I ask in that channel. I say, hey, can we turn this on for this specific group? So just drop a link to like what you want, which group you want it enabled, and an engineer will enable that feature flag.
You set it for all of marketing so that we consistently have the same, like, because Cormac, did you say that strategic marketing has it right now?
Oh, I don't know. If anyone does, it would be in analyst relations, because I know all of their issues are confidential, but I don't know about epics. So yeah.
I know that I've been so tied at the hip with Joyce and Brian. We can't do it, and we want to do it for analyst relations. So
yeah.
Someone please, what do you say? Like turn on the flag enable.
Yeah. Enable the feature flag for this group, please. And just like drop a link. Like whatever feature flag it is, just say for the you don't need to know the name, just say for the confidential Epics feature flag.
Great. So next steps, I'll finalize captains. We can push. So David, you're putting an intro to the project management.
Yeah. Don't block. Yeah, don't block on this. It's something that I'll probably be adding at least the first incarnation this week, but let's not block on it.
Okay. So should I? Once we have everyone, I'm going to open an issue for them to review, and I'll put a checkbox for each of the project management like pages that we've created, and say like review YZ, and then I'll have some mechanism for them to take notes on feedback, and then we'll do some sessions on it.
Sounds good.
Because with the holiday next week and a lot of people out on vacation, it might be kind of difficult, but at least we can capture it async.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think at least having them their eyes on those pages will be a good start.
Great. Alrighty. Anything else? Okay.
That's all that I had myself too. All right. Oh, thanks a lot, Gabe, for adding the link on the notes.
Yeah, that's the name of the feature flag and all that good stuff. We're starting to try to do a better job when things are behind the feature flag to put that in the documentation so that anybody can find out about it and stuff. Do the same thing for iterations as well. I'm going to drop because I think there's a really bad storm that's about to hit. So,
Thank you. So,
I was looking at the wind in the back there. You had some trees that were going kind of crazy.
oh yeah, I'm right on the edge of the mountain, so we get like the crazy wind when the bad storms come. So,
All right, well, good luck.
thanks. Ciao.
cheers.
Yeah.
Jackie, do you want to go to that channel to whichever that one is to ask for enabling that feature flag?
I already wrote up. I'm looking for just to have the group link for them. So I'm going to ask it for marketing, not GitLab-com, although I guess.
Oh, yeah. I mean, good point, because if we're defining the epics at, well, I'll do it for marketing only, because otherwise it might be a bit of a surprise for everyone who's under GitLab-com.
Yeah, I'm going to just say for marketing right now.
Yeah.
Because our epics are within the marketing epic section.
Yeah.
I think like cross-functional marketing ops and some other teams might be using it higher, like website.
Yeah.
Then they can request that flag, I guess.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I'm putting that in and I'll tag you too on it.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Good one, everybody.